Welcome to Cat the Minion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. This is a week overview. Just gonna move the camera for a second. There we go. Week overview for May 23rd through the 29th. So the way that these readings go, if you haven't seen them, there's... Oh, I should move these. There's a pile for each day. There's a timestamp for each day below. Sometimes the reading ends up running through multiple days. Sometimes it changes. We've got 2 retrogrades starting in this. So we have a retrograde here, we have a retrograde here. So a pile for each day, timestamps below. Each pile has a card from... 1 card each from 3 decks, although this one has a triple from 1. And normally I don't take triples, I'll take doubles, but in this case I had to. So the decks that I'm using today, I have my Twin Flame Pinnacle deck. If you're not a Twin Flame, it doesn't matter. The cards are just labeled 1 set masculine energy, 1 set feminine energy. And it's basically court cards and 9s and 10s. And I have the Thoth deck. Mine's trimmed because I trimmed it. And I have my new, that I've just gotten recently, Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. And I will be reading in the book from these, and I might be reading some passages out loud just because I'm still learning this deck. There's a lot going on there, and I'm still doing the training wheels. So I'll get to those as I need them. Anything else? I don't think so. There's a lot of heavy energies going on. Pluto retrograde all month. Jupiter just moved into Pisces in the previous week. Saturn goes retrograde on Sunday in Aquarius. Mercury goes retrograde in its home sign of Gemini on the 29th, Saturday. And the full moon in Sagittarius on the 26th, on Wednesday. In the Mercurial energy, North Node retrograding in Gemini, and then the South Node is Sagittarius. So there might be some nodal energy coming up there. Venus is in Gemini. The Sun is in Gemini. So there's a lot of air energy present. And there's a significant amount of water energy present as well, but it's all the collective unconsciousness, the subconscious, the dream world, the nightmares. So we'll see what that does for this week here. My throat chakra is a little bit tired, I guess, as is the rest of me. I've got it focused to about here. Let's see how that looks. About here. So let's take a look at Sunday. Sunday. Let's start with the tarot. The Wheel of Fortune inverted. Let me hold that up to the camera. So here's the Wheel of Fortune in its upright position. Sagittarian energy, number 10. Inverted. This is telling me those nodes. Usually when I see the nodes in play during a reading, it tells me there's something that's like encompassing the world, but it's coming in at a lower vibration. It's like my entire world might not be tilted upside down, but it feels like the rug's been pulled out from under me. It doesn't necessarily mean things are taking a turn for the worse, though. It's sort of like, oh, I wasn't ready for that. And the universe is like, go! It's like pushing you off of the escalator onto the dry land. The dry land. So 9 of Pentacles inverted. Possibly dealing with feminine energy here, but not necessarily. Although the 9 of Pentacles is Venus in Virgo anyway. But Venus is in Gemini and we have Mercury retrograde. Virgo is also ruled by Mercury. And I feel like... Okay, this has to do with maturity. But the 9 of Pentacles inverted is sort of like, I'm not getting what I want. Like, I thought I could do it all by myself. It's like slipping through my fingers. Let's see what this archetype is. The mask. We all wear masks, metaphorically speaking. 61. Roman numerals give me a headache. I fucking hate them. Look at this. The dark and the light. Here with most of the chakras milling about. What is blocking you from integration, right? These halves are separate. The previous week, or was it? One of the, I don't remember whether it was the week right before this or 2 weeks before this. But in those readings, one of the things was about believing your ego's own front. And this is something that's being deconstructed here. There's a loud vehicle on its way. Let me look at this while I'm waiting. 61. Oh, this is 50s. Just trying to find the right page. Again, like I said, Roman numerals give me a headache. They're so impractical. Oh. As the Zen koan suggests, meditate on your original face, the one you had before your mother and father were born. This is talking about soul identity. Think of a mask or costume you wore that felt empowering, marvelous, or fun. Who was it you were being? Is that who is still within you? I was doing this and I didn't get what I wanted. 19 inverted. When the sun 19 is inverted, that tells me moon energy. And I just said that there was a lot of water energy, dreams, nightmares. Nightmares is one aspect of the moon. But it's coming in with this sun energy. It's also giving me this Saturn retrograde that's starting. 61 breaks down to 7. This is like the tower inverted also. There's an internal deconstruction. And there's no explicit Saturn energy here. But because Saturn is going retrograde in Aquarius, it's shifting something in consciousness. It's upending it, right? We're pulling it out by the root. We're taking it out of the ground. And what is it? The mask is like a weed. Contemplate the possibility that the mask permits our true identity to be revealed. So there's an aspect of repression. I did say maturity here as well. It's like I'm afraid to be in my own power. Venus in Gemini in between this, I'm getting too many images at once. It's like the twins, the fool, the maiden. Venus wanting to be the empress. But in order to be the empress, it's like you have to grow up. But it's not to say that growing up means that the child, the inner child, or the childlike state isn't right or good. This aspect of growing up in this Venus essence has to do with recognizing your inner identity. And all of these things that go into this secret, like your secret identity of who you really are, is going to be deep in there. 9 is a low vibration of the Hermit, which is also Virgo energy. It's something that's both going in and being exposed at the same time. Right? It's like finding a crystal cavern deep underground. There's an aspect here of learning not to reject the parts of you that you fear. That's what that is. Integrating the parts of you that you fear so that you can discover your core identity. All right, let's look at Monday, the moon day here. All right, this is the one that got a triple. Oh, I got a double on the other cards too. Okay. I just heard I've got chills, they're multiplying from Greece. Let's look at these first. Oh, if I can get them apart. The riddle. 53. Shift or pivot, the Empress again, or 8, which is strength or justice. And we have this Celtic knot here. The riddle. I haven't gotten that card yet. Okay. So this is... I don't know if this is supposed to be pronounced agape or agape or what. I haven't looked it up, but it's the root of the English word agape. And I don't remember what it is because I was so caught up on trying to remember how to pronounce it. So I'm going to look that one up too. And then we have the nectar. So I haven't gotten that one either, but notice how this is very similar to Sunday's card, the mask. There's a bifurcation of the dark and the light. And we're dealing with moon energy. We're heading into the full moon, but there's still some darkness. This is also split in two, but this is the riddle is integration. Things are connecting it together. Whereas here in these two cards, they're still separate. This reminds me of meiosis and mitosis. We have stuff that's recombining. So here it's separate. It looks like it's inside of a peach. Like the pit inside of a peach. And here we have recombining. And then we have like a genesis. $24. The moon. The high priestess, possibly the emperor, and then combining down to 6, which is the lovers, or healing, or the masculine and the feminine coming together, or this Gemini essence that's sort of everywhere over everything. It's like Gemini to the left, Gemini to the right, Gemini upside down in the corner. The King of Swords. Masculine energy inverted. Capricorn and Aquarian energy. So the King of Swords is tying into the just happened Saturn retrograde in Aquarius. Okay, this is a bonus card. The Eight of Wands, even though it looks like a carrot. The Eight of Wands. Mercury in Sagittarius. So this is talking about the nodes again. Gemini inverted north node, Sagittarius south node. All-encompassing, rapid, global communication or global consciousness shift. King of Swords holds the truth, but he's inverted, probably because Saturn's inverted. It's like rapid exposure of lies, possibly. But let's see what this other card is. Truce. Four of Swords. Now it's particularly telling that that I just said rapid exposure of lies, because you would expect that to create conflict. But this Four of Swords coming in as truce instead of just I need to take a nap, or it's a lower vibration of the Hanged Man cosmic downloads, means that we don't have time to go into battle. We need to solve these problems right away. This is coming in Jupiter in Libra. Libra's the other air sign, but Jupiter just moved into Gemini. Didn't it? No, Pisces. Jupiter just moved into Pisces. Oh my god. I'm getting a little confused. Yeah. So we have Libra, the other air sign, also connected to Venus. And then Jupiter just moved into Pisces, which for me is the High Priestess over here. The King is a low vibration of the Emperor. Okay. This is a 14. This is an 8. This is a 4. I feel like this wants to be a 12. It wants to be the Hanged Man. But this is the low vibration of the Hanged Man. 14 and 4 is 18. That's the moon number. Justice. Low vibration of justice. Okay, let me see what agape is. I'm just going to pronounce it agape until I look it up and try to correct myself. Because agape doesn't sound good in English. Even though it's probably right. Devotion and unconditional love. Okay, that's where this truce is coming in. Spiritual initiation. Overwhelming love of family, partner, and community, right? It's like we're not exposing... It's like instead of in Monty Python and the Holy Grail, when Dennis the Peasant's like, come and see the violence inherent in the system, help, I'm being repressed. It's like, I'm not doing this to it's like I'm not doing this to make a scene and say like, hey, look what's happening, like gather up your pitchforks, like we're gonna stick it to the man. It's I'm exposing what's going on in the system so that the community knows, because I care about the wellness of the community, because it's energetically, emotionally, compassionately the right thing to do. Not so that we can all take up arms and go like, F you to the system. It's we're exposing what's going on in the system for the benefit of the community so that we can say, okay, well, hold your is it ardor? I'm getting ardor, but that's just, it should be just passion. But it's like, you know, retarget your energy from anger and rage into this truce energy of rapid overhaul to solve the problem, the riddle. Okay. So if you notice their blip there, it's because my camera does 20-minute segments and it stopped and I had to figure out where I left off, but I didn't want to say that in the middle of the sentence and screw up the flow there. So we're going to look at the nectar. 58. 58. 58. Okay. I don't think I've gotten this card yet. I mean, I read it when I read the book when I first got the deck, but I haven't gotten it in a reading yet. Oh. Okay. This is bringing in the same message that was coming in. I still don't know which week it was. It was either last week or the week before. There was a message of, I wanted to say turning water into wine. There was a song with that as a lyric, but it's turning poison into medicine, right? I'm not going to keep swallowing this poison. I'm going to go into problem solving mode, turn it into something else. You know, stop feeding me hydrogen peroxide. Let's break it up a little bit and give me some water, you know. I don't know if you can do that, but that's the simplest chemical solution I could think of. Okay, this reminds me of this thing I used to do as a kid. You would take your fingers and simulate cracking an egg on somebody's head. You could like whack them on the top of the head and like run your fingers down the back and it would feel like an egg cracking on your head. It'd be gross. It says, sense the nectar within you dripping from the crown of the head and soothing the brain. Let it drip down the spine like sweet honey. It's like charging your energetic battery. So the medicine, the elixir, the garden. I'm just skimming this paragraph. Okay, this is like if someone is intentionally trying to hurt you, and it's like you don't even have to, you know, like what you throw at me bounces off me and sticks to you. It's like I'm immediately throwing up an antidote, right? Because notice how in the Matrix, Neo didn't send all the bullets back at the agent. He just stopped them and had them fall to the ground. All right, it's like, I don't, nope. But imagine instead if he had changed them into like seeds and they started growing. That's the full energy of the nectar. It's like transmutation. Right? What do I do? It's like, I don't want to kill my ego, I want to transmute it. You know, I'm rehabilitating this energy. I'm changing the charge. I'm changing the pH balance. Okay, so let's look at the riddle. When the riddle is present, one must stop searching for the right answer. It cannot be found and ultimately is not important. Rather, there must be a shift from the literal to the metaphorical, from logic to mythic. You are thinking too small and literally about the situation. It appears when the energy is deep and mysterious. Focusing harder won't do it, neither will increased effort. Time, surrender, and humor are your only allies. What feels like the most pressing dilemma won't reveal its deeper wisdom for a long time. The only way to work with a riddle successfully is not to work. See, that's the thing, is like you can't act, some things can't be actively and effortlessly destroyed. It has to be I choose to hold the pattern of truth itself. I move towards this unconditional essence instead of this lies essence. And to sort of carry this antidote energy is saying, well, I might not be able to change the world today, but I'm certainly not going to keep drinking this fear porn, this disaster porn, until I'm scared and diseased and able to be manipulated, because that's what the powers that be want. And that is, in essence, the solution to the riddle. Alright, so that's Monday, 24th. With all of those cards jammed right in there. So let's look at Tuesday, the 25th. So we have Martian energy. This is Marty. So Queen of Pentacles with masculine energy attached to it. The Chariot inverted. The Moon. Queen of Pentacles, Sagittarius, and Capricorn energy. Although this is coming in upright, there are retrograde energies that are attached to both of those. And again, Sagittarius, the Jupiter, the ruler, is in Pisces. Oh my god, why can't I get that out? Where's the moon on the 25th? Scorpio. Oh, Pluto retrograde. The moon in Scorpio. Okay. And the forest. I don't think I've gotten this card yet either. But a lot of chakra energy coming in here. 36. Breaking down to 9. The Hermit. Camping in the woods. The Emerald Tent. 36. I should know by now that when it takes me a long time to ramp up to doing a reading, that it ends up being an intense reading. Almost there. Okay, so we have the forest. Queen of Pentacles. I'm just skimming what's going on here in the book. The great archetypal forest requires we spend at least one night frightened for our life. This is giving me there's a jungle out there, like out in the world. Fear, enchantment, losing your way. Loss of navigation can be the chariot inverted. It's like the horse latitudes. Okay. Some of this has to do with taking a trip through your own shadows. I want to clarify this Queen of Pentacles, though. So let me get another tarot card for the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. The Hermit. The Hermit popped up like 3 or 4 times in one of the readings in the last couple weeks. I just heard, let me take a trip. There's a masculine energy that's operating in these feminine modes. The Hermit card has a masculine on it, but it's Virgo energy. It's mercurial. Mercury is going to go retrograde. This is a pre-shadow. Now, everybody has masculine and feminine energy. But to me, it's saying there's a masculine that may have unaddressed inner child issues for their feminine side. The inner child has a masculine and a feminine side, just like the adult person has a masculine and a feminine side. So this masculine may have said, well, I've healed my inner child, because I remember when I was a little boy, blah, blah, blah. But the issue is, well, did you heal what happened when you were a little girl? It's like, well, I was never a little girl. But there's always a feminine side there. Equally, if a woman doesn't heal her inner child's masculine side, there's going to be some kind of shadow present that's not addressed. This is like wandering in the woods looking for Snow White here. The huntsman looking for Snow White. And this, who's the fairest of them all. And it's not even what feels like the right thing to say, but that's what's what's flowing out. But you're not trying to kill, you're trying to heal. And ultimately, what's going to happen is the searching. I just heard searching for Bobby Fischer in the back of my head. Searching for the uncured, the unsaved, the unhealed portion of the inner child can be almost like a mythic quest. I don't even know where to go. There's too many brambles here. Why is it hiding in a thicket under a mountain? You know, I'm lost. I can't find my way home. And if you're coming from a position of an adult where you have the tools to send out your own search party here, they've got dogs and everything, how do you think that portion of the inner child feels without any of those tools or protection of an adult who has a fully developed brain and supposed to have a fully developed emotional core? So this is like, oh, I just heard the Doors again, Your Lost Little Girl. I would say that a lot of people probably, whether they're masculine or feminine, man, woman, doesn't matter what you, everybody's got both. But the issue here is, I would say that a lot of people have lost inner children, especially in a feminine side, because society favors boys over girls. Don't do that, you're being girly. You suck because you're a girl. No girls allowed, you can't come in here. And that's why it's such an incredibly tangled journey to get there. Alright, so let's look at Wednesday. I'm going to start another segment so I don't lose it in the middle. Okay, so we're doing Wednesday. Five of Swords. Here it's called Defeat. Venus in Aquarius. This is usually like mind games or last man standing on the battlefield no matter what it costs them. This shape as an inverted pentagram is really making me think about Saturn retrograde in Aquarius. But Venus is in Gemini, which is also heading into retrograde. But this card is upright. Let's see what else is going on. Number 5 is a shift or a pivot as well. 9 of Swords inverted related to feminine energy, which just could relate to Venus as well. Like, I'm overcoming my nightmares. 14 swords would be balance. 4 of Swords inverted. I'm waking up. Right, I'm defeating the nightmare. So here we have the Father. It's number 2 in this deck. Notice there's a split down the middle here, light and dark. This looks like a photo negative as well, right here. Then what is the nightmare? What is the mind games? There's a duality in the father archetype, which would equate to the emperor. And here we're equating Venus and the feminine to the empress. The emperor, the father, the archetype is one that is like a caretaker. Let's see if I can get some other keywords here by looking in. Because I know what I want to say, but I have to set this down first. Protector. Loyalty, honesty, wisdom, protection. But the shadow aspect is absence, right? A negative. There's a photo negative. What do you see? The negative space where the tree would be. Absence, abandonment. Someone who leaves you to the wolves, who leaves you alone on the battlefield, emotionally or literally. This is the God has clay feet. He's being knocked off the pedestal. But what the nightmare is it's like you're not the boss of me. And this could easily be seen as the patriarchy coming down. But what should be realized here too is that the feminine can either be a nurturing abundance or she can be death. In the same way that the father can either be protection or absence. I really feel like this is like saying that the feminine realizing that you're not the boss of me. And that could be either in your own life with a real father or father figure. It could be an internal thing between your feminine and masculine aspects. You know, it's like, I don't have to be everything all the time. I can just go off and be by myself for a while. I don't have to take care of everybody all the time. You know, this isn't fair to me. What about somebody protecting me for a goddamn change? Like, maybe I need to nurture myself. Maybe this, island situation has been a nightmare. This situation doesn't have to be like, yes, this is exactly the patriarchy and nothing else. Everything has a smaller scale, right? Inside me, my family, everyone I know, this country, this hemisphere, the entire world, and so on. So there's as above, so below with that. Looking at Thursday, Jupiter energy, the 27th. Jupiter in Pisces, if I remember correctly. I keep forgetting to say that Mars is in Cancer. Because the Chariot came up on Tuesday. Whatever. If it was relevant, I would have remembered it. I'm really mad that I didn't, though. 27. Breaking down to 9. I want to ride my bicycle. So you have the King on the penny farthing. 2 of Pentacles. King of Swords riding the penny farthing. Doesn't really matter, but it's still the 2 of Pentacles. Jupiter in Capricorn. Seeing Jupiter and Capricorn still tied together quite a bit in this week. They were both in Aquarius hanging out for quite a while, and now Jupiter's off in Pisces and Saturn's going backwards. like Jupiter kicked it in the gut and it's sliding across the floor. This is usually like I'm juggling two things here. Like, ooh. Like trying to be balanced. Let's see what else is going on though. 10 of Cups. Satiety. That's what it says. Satiety. I believe I am pronouncing that correctly. Because I don't see that word very often. Usually people are like, I'm satiated. Like I've had enough to drink. Although usually people say quench, but that's right. Satiety. 10 of Cups. Traditionally Mars in Pisces, although I reassigned it Pluto energy. So references to 2 retrogrades. Not surprised. Let's see what this is. I mean, this is like emotional fulfillment. And we have the Maiden. So I was talking about inner child and maiden energy. You see a lot of sacral stuff going on here as well. I just want to skim the Maiden because it's sort of like your princess is in another castle. I know what I want to say, but there's, again, I feel like there's a couple of keywords that I'm missing. Number 8. Eight and 2 is 10. All told, that's judgment, which is Plutonic energy. Again, I feel like this really wants to be Martian energy in this reading, though. The traditional assignment of the card. Now the battery's going. This is fantastic. 8, if I... This is why the Roman numerals really F me up. Pain in my ass. Okay. So with the sacral energy, it says the maiden archetype is the epitome of innocent arousal, naive sensuality, and precarious purity. It's like I need to learn stuff. I'm still trying to juggle between like seriousness and playing around. It's like a curiosity. I'm getting a Dave Clark 5 song stuck in my head. I don't actually know what it's called, but the lyrics are like have to do with the word satisfied. So the dark aspect here says pretends, projects, denies, and fantasizes. I think this has to do with... Let me just check. I think this has a lot to do with wanting to have a... like a sexual encounter with somebody. But it's coming in 10 of Cups, which means there's an emotional fulfillment aspect to it. But this is sort of like, 6 to 1, half a dozen the other. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And this is like, I'm kind of coy about it. So this is the card that came out. I had to change the battery. 8 of Cups inverted, indolence, which basically means a slacker. Look how crusty and like gross these cups are. This is like sewage water. It's like acid rain sewage water. It's putting holes in the cups. Saturn and Pisces inverted. So this is butting up against the Jupiter energy, Capricorn. Retrograde, and then Jupiter in Pisces. These planets, although trying to like kick each other apart, are still together. 8 of Cups is walking away from things that no longer serve you emotionally. If I subtract the 8 from the 10, I get 2 of Cups, which is a low vibration of the Lovers, but it's also still it's some kind of decision trying to be made. What's the problem here? Ace of Wands, feminine energy, although that's inverted even though it's upright. And then masculine energy, Jack of Cups inverted. I'm hearing Is It Worth It? Let Me Work It. Put My Thing Down, Flip It, and Reverse It by Missy Elliott. I'm also getting a little bit holding out for a hero. The maiden energy is in a feminine position, right? Holding the feminine energy. Whoever is in the maiden is holding feminine energy no matter what. Whoever is holding the energy of the masculine is juggling these, trying to figure out what they're doing. It's like there's a lot of heat between these two people, especially with this Ace of Ace of Flames, calling the Ace of Wands. But for some reason, this masculine, it's like to approach. It's like this king, whenever he approaches the maiden, suddenly gets cold feet and starts freaking out about emotional baggage that hasn't been released yet. And is like, never mind, I'm going back the other way. It's like a broken record or comedy of errors. Okay. The 27th. It looks a little bit like a stalemate here, but I think what's going on is the energies are saying you can't hold this pattern forever. This might be talking about a twin flame situation, and it could be relevant to the previous days in the week, or it could be let's take a break for a week and read a different book, and then we'll go back to finish the other chapters in the other thing. It doesn't have to be twin flame, but it's just, either it's either shit or get off the pot here, man. Like, because the difference between these is still the Two of Cups. It's still like an emotional offer between people. It's like if you can get over your pants enough you can still communicate with this person. It doesn't have to be like, you know, an erotic weekend right off the bat, right? Baby steps. But a decision has to be made. Okay. Let's look at Venus, the 28th. Breaking down to 10. Just completion, possibly the wheel. Queen of Cups. I believe I saw the Queen of Cups inverted this week, but I'd have to look. So the Queen of Cups upright. Oh, okay, her face is in between there. I haven't seen this card that much. There's a lot of motion here. It's hard to focus on any one aspect. There's kind of a fish there. Oh, okay. The cup is fish shaped and there's like a little lobster in it. 13, breaking to, or possibly 1, depending. 10 of Pentacles with the feminine energy upright. Emotional manifestation. And the vision. Wow. Damn, son. 55. So we have 10, and then we have 55, which also breaks down to 10. Rapid shifting. Emotional transformation and balancing. The vision has to do with holding on to this, like, your cosmic drive, like your life purpose. But let's just skim this to make sure I've got all the keywords that I need. I can't drive 55. That's not how that song goes, but those are the lyrics. Shiggity shwo, 55. Okay, so we have potent imagination, synchronicity, and trust. Trusting your heart center. Synchronicity, because you're getting those downloads. This is what's happening with all these swirlies up here. And the imagination is also that connected to the dream world, kind of. Yeah, it's talking about destiny and vision. This is like I've recaptured my vision and I'm moving towards it in the material world. Or it's like, I don't know what I'm doing, life sucks, is something that's not 10 of Pentacles. This is like I've hit my stride. Doesn't necessarily mean like I'm happy and content and I don't have to do anything. It's like, oh my god, now I know what I'm doing. Like, now I can row my boat down the stream. It's like I've got my energy back. I'm happy to exist in the world now. You know, it's like never mind, I don't want to go home. Just kidding. Like, I'm gonna do this now. So at 29th, we have Saturn Energy. So we're dealing with Saturn Energy on Saturday. Saturn retrograde just a few days beforehand, and now we're hitting the 29th, which breaks down to 11, which can break down to 2, but we're dealing with 11. Right. The High Priestess, Justice, possibly alternate strength, a universal timing, possibly masculine and feminine energy coming together, and or the twin flame number. But strong retrogrades, and then of course Pluto retrograde in Saturn to begin with. Ace of Swords, none but a truth. The Clue by 4. The Jack of Cups. I did get the Jack of Cups on Thursday. And I called it the Jack, and I was thinking the whole time that it was the Page. So this is a 1 or an 11. It was the masculine energy, and now the feminine energy is upright with it. And then we have the Mentor. So imagine that this owl is bringing in the truth. Now the day before I had a pair of owls with the Queen of Cups and a 10 of Pentacles holding this like life purpose vision. This looks like the feminine energy having an emotional connection to someone who's brought them to this universal truth. But let's see what's going on with the Mentor. I'm not getting a vibe of like a cult of personality. That's not what I'm getting here. It's sort of like gratitude, or the Mentor might end up being someone that ends up as it like some way emotionally fulfilling, whether they're a partner or not. Because the dark aspect of the Mentor is like cults, control, thousands of years of organized religion, that kind of stuff. 6. Come on. When I was talking about Tuesday, I was talking about the Father as your God has feet of clay. Here it specifically says that. Keep in mind how easy it is to project power onto another. The expressions feet of clay and cult of personality exist for a reason. I had just said. Although it's typically true that parents are our initial teachers, the child will eventually seek a mentor figure outside of the home to assist their growth. Okay. The mentor archetype has a gift for reading the room, for sensing the exact ingredient that will stimulate growth within the student. Their gift is to know what serves the soul. Ultimately, the mentor is in service of the greater cosmic good and aids in the elevation of consciousness. Now, it does say anytime the mentor forgets his humble, anytime the mentor forgets this humble link and mistakes themselves for the source of enlightenment, the archetype falls into shadow. But what I'm seeing here is that this emotional fulfillment of universal truth goes into this energy that's tied to feminine energy before the mentor comes in. If I had put the cards this way and I was like, yeah, that's what I'm seeing, it would be like there's a block here. But there isn't. This could be a person, it could be the universe itself. I almost see this as like I'm mothering myself at this point. I take the truth into my heart center, and then I tell the universe I'm ready for the next step. That's what I'm seeing for that. I'm going to just clarify one more. Interference. Eight of Swords. That's not what I expected. And the 10 of Pentacles, wealth. Again, this is like warning against the guru type. But I'm seeing this as I see the truth before I look for anyone else to tell it to me. Right? It's like I might be breaking away from people that say, I'll tell you what it is, you just have to pay $100 for my class, and then you go there and all they do is tell you that you'll never be anything without them. And pretty soon you're trapped in this mental prison where you're like, oh man, I don't know what I'm doing. This is the shadow aspect, but I see this falling away from this. So we'll see. It might be a warning for some people to get the hell out of that situation. But this universal truth is coming with a crown opening, and there is some kind of emotional leveling up, right? Because a Page of Cups is ready to move out into the world with some heart-centeredness. It's like, well, if I don't need to stay in a room and have people tell me what I feel, then the truth is out there, and the universe itself becomes the mentor, and the people that tell me what to do fall away. Okay, so that's what I'm getting with the Mercury retrograde, with the Saturn backspin. All right. If you want to get a personal reading, my sign here. Oh, that looks like a bucket of asses. Let me get this straightened out a little bit here. It still looks weird, but it's slightly better. Stabilize the frame. Adjust the focus. Okay. If you want to get a personal reading, the complete list of readings I have and how much they cost is going to be in the description box underneath here. If you go to my little baby website here, I have a homepage, and then I have another page that's also a list of the readings. It's basically the same, but it's got pictures with it and a green background. That's through the link tree. Everything else is through the link tree. If you'd like to help keep this channel chunking along, you can donate, energy exchange, tip jar, that's PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. But you can also get stuff if you want instead. I've got coloring books, dark poetry, prints and merch, actual art items. A lot of the art's going to be psychedelic. Some of it's like creatures, dinosaurs, dragons, fairies and mermaids and whatever. Book characters, celebrities, stuffed animals, foam lotus, things like that. Angels. I think that's it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.